This is the video on width ranges. We're going to click on Files. We're going to go to the unit file. Here's where we see that the unit file had 3 sequencing possibilities. Has a unit C code, a unit S code, has a unit name. Here are the offsets and the length of each of these names. But now we're going to go over here and see that the unit C code is referred to as name A. The unit S code is referred to as name B. And the unit name is referred to by C. Now we'll be done and we're going to execute. Here is the width ranges screen. Again, as the other screen about sequences, the first column here is every record in order of record number. The second one here is in order of sequence number 1, this sequence number 2, and the third one sequence number 3. What is new here is that ranges have been added. The color code is range A. Size code is range B. The unit name is range C. Down below here we see what would be put in address 2 for the sequence action SEQ. This one says it's sequence 1 followed by A, B, and C, which means there's a range test for color code, a range test for size code, and a range test for the name. We see here not only is this sequence 2, but it also has the range tests A, B, and C. And the last column, it was told it's sequence 3 and also has a test on A, B, and C. Up here we see where you enter the range test. Right now it says the color code, that's the C code, can go from spaces to Z and a space. Well, that basically means everything, because there's nothing space or lower than a space, and there's nothing higher than a Z. The same for the size code. It says from space to Z, and the unit name from space to Z. So they're all listed there. Well, let's go to the first one here and say it was space to a B. So I'll click here and I'll put a B there. Notice now that the only ones that come in the record number list are those that start with a B. I could change that. Well, I'll change that to a P. Now we have all of them but those that have a letter greater than P. That is for the color code. Well, we can even narrow it by starting it somewhere. Let's say we tell it has to start with a G. Well, now we have the G, O's, and the P's. Well, we can change this back to the way it was originally. Spaces to a Z. We know that that gives us everything. Well, we also could have a range on the size code. That is the S code. That is the second one here. This is the one that is sorted on that code. So we could tell it that we want it to start at a different one. So I'll click here and I'll say I want it to start on M. Now we only have starting with the medium ones. small ones, and extra small. Also, we could tell it where to end at. But we'll go on and change this back to a space. We'll go to the last one. That's the unit name itself. This is the one that was sorted on the unit name. Well, let's say we want it to not be any letter higher than S. Notice that the name was short. So saying that it had to be S or smaller didn't work because we have a space here. But if we made that a Z, then we would get short. Alright, this is a video on with ranges.